Hey guys, welcome to my third drawing tutorial. So in the previous tutorial, you have learned how to shade cylinder and a 3D ball. So today we are going to apply the shading technique into a real drawing. This tutorial has 3 parts. Part 1, I'm showing you guys different variations of noses. Part 2, I explain the technique. And part 3, the tutorial. Sounds like fun, yeah? I have drawn 8 noses here. So nose is our first facial feature that we are going to learn today. So why nose? Because it's very simple. It consists of cylinder and 2 3D balls. And unlike eyes, which has very complex details, or mouth, you can get weird and different shapes of mouth, like smiling, big smile, teeth smile. Hair is simple, but it has quite a lot of variations. Curly, wavy, not to mention the color too. So with the nose, we only have to draw in different angles and different lighting conditions. The shape is almost identical from person to person. So we need reference. Don't try drawing from imagination. We need to familiarize ourselves with different kind of noses from real life. So I really encourage you guys to photograph noses. I don't know, your friend's nose, girlfriend's, boyfriend's, doesn't matter. Try to photograph it in different angles, yeah? And don't forget to ask permission first, otherwise you will spook the person. Well, unless it's your own nose, of course. So okay, this one is nose looking directly forward. Lighting is obviously coming from left. Please note that I'm not teaching you guys to draw something like this, yeah? Usually you start by drawing circle or boxes, whatever. We are going to simply look at our reference, and from there we are going to examine and observe it using our abstract mind. When you use step 1 draw circle, step 2 draw boxes, blah blah blah, it's very limiting. You can only draw this one position. I want to free our mind and try to think in abstract way. That way you can easily draw subjects in a different poses, whatever weird it is. Also, the lighting in this one is obviously from the front, which is terrible, guys. I can't stress it enough. It's terrible. Why would someone draw a model with front lighting technique? It's like photographing a model using a built-in camera flash. Don't do this, guys. You will end up hating yourself. Poof. Next. Same as before, only this time the face is in 3/4 view. And judging from the shadow, see those crisp eyelashes? We know that it's a hard lighting. Usually comes from the sun. Next, face looking upwards. Light is coming from the right side, soft lighting. Next one, face looking down. Obviously nostril is gone in this position. And don't stop here, try more angles. So this one is a good example of profile shot. Shot from side exactly at 90-degree angle. This one is also profile shot, face looking the other way. And this one is more like an extreme angle, guys. Seriously, I've never drawn a portrait in this angle. This was the hardest for me, but I still managed because I was thinking abstract. I kept telling myself that this was a merely bunch of random shapes that somehow look like a nose. Right, guys? And this one here. So guys, whose nose is this, guys? Let me know in the comment down below if you know the answer, but only before I show you my reference, yeah? Let's see if nose is recognizable. Obviously not mine is more handsome than this. Peace. So this nose will be my tutorial soon. Before that, I want to explain the 5 steps of my approach, so you have a better understanding of my approach. Let's head to my scan drawing. So step 1, I covered the area with 4B pencil and then I spread it with cotton. Easy. Step 2, I use kneaded eraser to mark my highlight. Still easy. Step 3, I add some graphite to the shadow area and I start measuring the proportion. So at this point, we have highlight, middle and dark value. You can start seeing its shape. Step 4, I use my brush to push the graphite into the paper grain to define the shape even further. Step 5, I refine the drawing. I keep measuring, brushing, comparing, softening edges, measuring again, and because I'm evil, I keep pushing even further. Refining and refining to make the drawing look smoother and realistic. This is the longest step in my drawing. I spent hours in here, especially filling in those tiny paper grain with graphite. Each of these nodes took me like 2 to 2.5 hours top. Okay, go back to my drawing paper. So without further ado, let's do step 1. Covering the paper with 4B graphite. Of course you can use 3B, 5B, doesn't matter. Just always look at the reference, guys. If the reference is somewhat dark, use darker pencil. But I prefer a lighter pencil just to be safe. I think I will be fine using 4P here. And try not to do it too dark early on. Later we will add more graphite so it will get darker. If you do this too dark early on, you will probably need to use kneaded eraser a lot in the later stage, and that's a real pain in the ass. Okay guys, I'll speed the video up every now and then so that I'm not wasting too much of your time. And then using my cotton, I smooth it out. I touch the paper lightly guys. I'm not pushing hard with the cotton. No need to be perfect guys. I do this so that I have something to work with instead of a white blank paper. Okay, nice. Step 2. Creating highlight using kneaded eraser. So before I begin, I like to examine the reference. So the lighting comes from left side, right? So this side is light and this side is shadow. And the important features to remember are the nose bridge, nose tip, ala, and nostril. You can look at my diagram guys. With those things in mind, I'll create a straight line here, creating nose bridge and nose tip. And I drew it slightly slanted just like my reference. I'm not drawing the whole nose here guys. This is just the highlight. And then I will draw the ala like this. Basically it's just a small circle, again representing just the highlight. I'm not going to do this for this side because it's the shadow side, so it has no highlight there. And now still in step 2, I'm going to spread this highlight to this direction. Just like in the reference, the light is spreading. Or I could say it gradually goes from highlight to light to middle value. So this is the kind of abstract thinking process I mentioned earlier. I'm not drawing a nose, I'm following the light and shadow pattern and I'm trying to understand their behavior. Some people might even call me crazy after this. Probably I am. There. Still doesn't look like a nose guys. That's why we need step 3. I'm adding some graphite to the darker side. So around here is dark, and then below the nose here is also dark. I'm not measuring guys, this is just a rough guess. I look for the shadow and I add some graphite so that later I have something to work with. Just like in my first step. This here is probably the nostril area, but I'm not drawing nostril guys. I'm locating the shadow. You see it's kind of forming a V shape, so I'll just follow it just like that. You look at the photograph and try to simplify the shapes. And then around her eye here is actually quite dark, and near the forehead is slightly dark. I will also draw the shadow around this eye just to make things more clear. I will add more graphite here and there as I see fit. No right or wrong here guys, just follow the photograph and always compare. I'm strengthening the V shape I mentioned before. Okay, nice. So now we have 3 initial values to begin with. Light, middle and dark. And then from here I'll start measuring guys. So usually people use pencil and thumb method, like this. But since the drawing is rather small, I have a trick. I often measure using my pencil tip. And then I find my length using these reference points from my pencil. I don't use my thumb, so it's a modified pencil and thumb method. Okay, so I'll pick a strong reference point. Usually I use carunculus, or inner corner of the eye. I'll just draw a straight line here. I'm just going to eyeball it and try to get the angle matches correctly. You see the face is kind of angled. And then I'll decide this point as my left carunculus. And then measuring from here, I'll get my right carunculus somewhere around here. So the length is from my pencil tip to here. I'll keep that in mind and just transfer it to my drawing. So everything I measure from now on is based on these 2 points. So I'll measure these other 4 points here. And also I'm using 24mm lens to record my drawing, guys. So it has barrel distortion or some kind of fisheye effect. So my pencil and thumb measurement might look there slightly in different length. Sorry about this, guys. But you get the idea, that's more important. Okay, measuring the right nostril. I think it's somewhere around here. And it's okay to measure more than once, guys. Take your time here. Yeah, I guess it's good enough. So I'll clarify it using dot. And because it will take some time, I'll just speed it up. Okay, I believe I have measured everything. I'm just checking here just to be sure. Always measure twice and cut once, guys. This is not my final measurement, guys. I'm constantly measuring throughout the drawing process. Okay, I think I'm good. And now step 4, using only my brush, I'm pushing the graphite into the paper grain, especially in the dark side, to define the form. Can you see the graphite is being pushed into the paper? I hope my camera can pick it up. I'm not really sure if you can see this clearly, especially if you're watching with phone. What I'm doing right now is filling in the white paper grain with graphite. The goal here is to define the form, guys. I'm not using my brush to make the drawing look smooth. I also do oil painting, so using brush feels very natural for me. I'll speed up the video so you can see the difference I'm making. Yeah, it starts looking like a nose, guys. So step 5, the longest step in my drawing, is refining, to make the drawing look smoother and smoother. What I do is basically filling in the paper grain with more graphite. You see, this is white. I'm filling in those holes with graphite like this. And because the paper grain is very small, I use sharp pencil. You see, mine is very pointy and sharp. I literally sharpen my wooden pencil every 10 or 15 minutes. I also use mechanical pencil for the lighter area. With mechanical pencil, it's a bit easier because obviously I don't need to sharpen it. And I also constantly measuring, guys. It's easy to get lost smoothing out the skin just to realize that the nostril or something is off a couple of millimeters. I also compare a lot. Look from afar, sideways, upside down. You don't know how fast I move my head right now. Left, right, left, right, left, right. My neighbor thought I got food poisoning inside my brain. So if you got that food poisoning feeling, take a break, guys. Leave it overnight and you will see the mistakes in the morning. So I've checked the video and apparently due to camera angle, you couldn't see it clearly. Sorry guys, I'll try to explain it again. You see these white holes here, or you could say gaps. I'm filling in those holes like this. Because my paper is rather thick and it's cold pressed, it has some kind of rough texture. I hope you can see it better now and I'll just speed things up to save time. So this area here still doesn't look the same. Well, I might live in another galaxy, but I'm not Terminator, guys. You know, the muscular robot guy. I'm human, so it's okay not to do it 100% accurate. Or this area here, I could just easily fix it like this. And perhaps make this transition a little bit smoother. Well, honestly guys, who cares? This is just a small difference. Well, if you find it bothersome, you fix it. But I think I'll stop here. Well, probably not. Perhaps I'm a Terminator after all. Just a moment, guys. Yeah, although it's not perfect, it's good enough for me. So I've just realized that my reference has a slight rotation since beginning. Thanks to my pencil and thumb accuracy. If I just rotate it like this, and perhaps move it closer. Minus the freckles, which I prefer not to draw. What do you think, guys? Is this accurate enough? I know. Have you had the answer yet? Whose nose is this? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, so that you get notified for my next exercise. Oh boy, got another food poisoning. Time to go.